Welcome, everyone. It's hard to believe it's that time of year again. The football season feels like it just started. But what a great time of year with football. You got the World Series going, and now for us, now we get to do our thing and do what we love, and that's to get basketball started. So it's certainly been an exciting off season for us, just coming off of a conference championship and 24-win season, and then a trip to Costa Rica in the off season, and really excited about the group we have coming back. I think they've had a great summer and off season leading into this fall, and some of the returnees I feel like have really taken that next step. And you look at some of the guys we have coming back. I think there's a lot of reason for optimism for our team this year. You look at Anthony Murphy, who really came on late in the season last year, especially after a couple injuries and going into the conference tournament things. I think he played some of his best basketball and has really carried that over into the summer and fall. DJ Wilkins, who's on the third team, all preseason team, has had a really good summer as well, and we're looking forward to him building on a solid freshman year and hopefully taking that next step again as a sophomore. Liam Robbins, our 7-foot center, who would now be a sophomore for us, I think has really made some big strides this offseason as well. He's got a ton of potential, and you see it every single day, and I'm excited to see what he gets in an expanded role, playing behind Nick McGlynn for most of last year and now being in more of a prominent role coming into this year. Also have Noah Thomas, who ended up starting a lot of games for us last year after Nick Norton went down with an injury. He's had a good summer, and then Garrett Sturtz, who played a lot of minutes for us last year as well. So that core group has had a really good offseason and summer, and excited about what they've been doing up to this point and leading into our first game here in a couple weeks. Also want to update everyone on Tramel Murphy, one of our seniors this year as well. He is currently enrolled in classes, and he has is going through basically the process here at the university of with the dean of students as he continues to work towards his status in regards to the team. And he there is no real timeline on that. It's something that he is working with, again, the dean of students on that, and that's really all we have for an update at this time. But he is not involved in any team activities at this point, and we will know more, at a future date. Going on to some of our newcomers, basically for the year, we have 6 new guys again, along with 1 walk-on. So 7 new guys, 6 scholarship players and 1 walk-on, which a drastic improvement from last year where we had 11 new guys. So we're working our way down, but they've really done a lot, and I think our veteran guys have done a good job of really helping them as we've gone through the process of trying to put and implement everything that we're trying to do. But I'll give you a quick rundown on some of those guys, going from the older guys to the younger guys. Brady Ernst, 5th-year senior that transferred from Florida Gulf Coast. Unfortunately has been hurt most of the time. He's had knee surgery this summer, and as soon as he got back from knee surgery, he had back surgery shortly after that. So our anticipation is he'll be out for an extended period of time here before he returns. Jonah Jackson, junior college player, has had a good summer for us. We're looking for him to hopefully replace some of Brady Ellington's shooting from last year, and to this point he's done a great job of that. And I think when the lights come on and things, you'll really like what he has the ability to do for our team. And then 4 other freshmen that are on scholarship. Joe Yesufu, a freshman point guard out of Chicago, really fast, explosive point guard, has had a nice summer for us. Nate Ferguson, who is out with an injury right now as well. Hopefully we're getting last year we got it all out at the end of the year. Maybe we're getting it all out at the beginning of the year this year so we can be injury free as the season progresses. But he's a 6'7", athletic forward, can do a lot of things with his versatility. Okai Jamgoose, a freshman out of Canada, can really shoot it as well. He's a younger guy that is coming in. I thought maybe since this summer he was figuring it out. I thought since the start of fall practices he's done a really good job, maybe, and has improved as much as anybody in our program. And then Issa Samake from here in town, from Grandview Christian, about 6'7", 6'8", extremely long, athletic, shot blocker, rebounder. Does some really good things for us as well. So that's kind of our group that we have coming back that I'm really excited to see what they can do as they begin their new journey in year 2 here for us. And as we progress forward, to try to do the same things, and that's you know, at the end of the year, everybody comes up this time of year has the goals and aspirations to try to win a conference championship, and this group you know, has those same goals and aspirations, and very similar to last year. There's a lot of work that needs to get done between now and then. There's a lot of teams that want to get there, and we have to do everything we can on a daily basis to try to separate ourselves from everybody else. And I think our guys are every bit as hungry as they were last year. Sometimes you worry as a coach about some complacency and being patted on the back a little bit and that getting to their heads, but this group to this point hasn't done that at all, and excited about their approach and the way they've gone about their day-to-day practices. The Valley, again, like every year, you anticipate you know, a fairly tightly contested league race. I think there's you know 7, 8 teams that really have legitimate shots to win it again, and I think the margin for error is razor thin between who finishes first and who finishes you know, in the play-in game, and that's what makes this league so special. You got to play 18 games. You got to be ready to go every night, and it's exciting basketball. So excited about another a league race in the Valley Conference again this year. You know, and you look at you know, for us, this race comes down to, you know, taking care of home court and then finding out a way to win a few on the road. And I thought last year, you know, we were 7-2 in league play at home, and you love it. You got to do that. You got to try to get to 7-2, 8-1, 9-0 if you're going to give yourself a chance. And I think a big part of that is trying to create that home court advantage here at the Knapp. And I felt like we had a great home court advantage last year. I think the Knapp Center is one of the unique venues to play in, and certainly a place when the crowd is into it and we're playing well, you can feel the atmosphere, and it certainly can carry a team to a win. We've had some exciting momentum, I think, in the offseason, and no recently than just yesterday with the donation from Paul and Claudia Schickler that's going to help not only our men's basketball program, but hopefully also lead to some renovations within the Knapp Center to even make it even more fan-friendly. I think the things we have done here in the last year or so with the new floor, the new lighting, some new refreshment opportunities for people have really increased the fan experience, and I think the plans to move forward with some renovations within the Knapp Center is only going to increase that. And our goal from the beginning is to make this Knapp Center one of the toughest places to play, and also make it one of the more fan-friendly places to be at for people to enjoy a game. And certainly their gift, and hopefully that'll inspire some future gifts for us to get moving on some future renovations for the Knapp Center. With that being said, I guess I'll open it up for questions.
How do you replace the toughness that you had a year ago with some of those older guys, and look for maybe Liam to kind of fill that energy toughness role?
I think the toughness piece is really because we did have some very tough guys that we lost, you know, and the way they competed. But I really like our toughness as a group, because I think it comes from within the group, and it's not just solely relying on one person. I think the way we practice every day kind of lends to guys that you got to be tough to get through a practice, or you're not going to survive very long here. And I think that's more of a culture thing from within our group. And I've liked what the guys have shown, you know, throughout the summer and off season in regards to replacing those key guys we lost.
What do you need to see from Liam this year? Obviously, he's going to be filling some big shoes.
Yeah, I think with the departure of Nick McGlynn, with Nick last year as a senior, we knew what we were getting every night. You could basically pencil in 16 and 7, and then you were going to get, you know, a little more, a little less than that. But that's what you could kind of, in general, count on. And I think with Liam, it's just finding that consistency every night, so you know exactly what you're going to get. And I think he's gotten way more consistent in practice this year than he was last year. And you know, he's a year older. He's more confident in himself. He's gotten bigger, stronger, and we're leaning on him more. So on a daily basis in practice, you know, there's more expectations on him to do well. Last year, if he wasn't doing well in a game, we could just put Nick back in. Well, now we don't have quite that luxury this year, so we're relying on him a lot more to be out there longer. And I think he's done a really good job. I think he's really improved. And And, when we start playing games, we'll see, how far he's come along. But my guess is just like last year, you'll see Liam Robbins in November. That hopefully looks different in December, January, February, and March. And I think each month he'll only continue to get better and better.
How did last year's regular season title and the run you guys were able to make in the Valley tournament motivate the guys coming into this year, prove that, hey, we're not the Drake of old, we can compete with the best of the best?
Yeah, I think there's certainly a different outlook. I think there's a different feel, not only on campus. I think there's a different feel even in the community on what they think the Drake basketball program can be and what it can become. And I know our guys feel that too. They feel the energy around our program. It excites them. And that's a big reason why a lot of them came here, because they wanted to do something different. They wanted to do something unique, be a part of something special, building something that they can look at 20 years from now and have a sense of pride if they got that started. And that's what we've talked about in the offseason, what we talked about earlier, but not being satisfied with the successes of the past. You turn that page and now everybody's back to square one again, and our group is no different than anybody else. So they've done a good job of managing that, but also in kind of embracing those expectations and wanting those expectations to be on them.
How do you go about replacing the type of production that you got from Nick and Brady in the backcourt last season? What I guess combination of guys will be asked to do that?
Yeah, it's hard to replace the three guys we lost, and Nick Norton, Brady Ellenson, and Nick McGlynn. All seasoned veterans. They've all been through it before. So how do you do that? Little coach speak. You don't do it probably with one guy for one guy. I think there's a multitude of guys that individually have to step it up. I think we've tried to fill some holes in the recruiting aspect of it to try to get to replace Nick Norton. We had Roman Penn sitting out last year, the transfer from Siena, who I forgot to mention on the opener there. Roman's, if we play today, Roman Penn will be our starting point guard. And so I think his sit-out year last year as a transfer was really good for him. And he does a lot of things. He's different than Nick, but he does some things differently than Nick. Doesn't mean it's better or worse. It's just going to be different. And you add Jonah Jackson from the perimeter piece, and then Liam Robbins, stepping in for Nick McGlynn, and then you take the whole group, and each guy just elevates their game a little bit. And I think that's how you offset it, to get yourself kind of the same success level.
Is he kind of that superstar sixth man, or is he kind of plugging different holes in the backcourt?
Yeah, right now DJ would be our starting two guard, and if we started tomorrow night in the blue-white scrimmage and going into next week, and like I told our guys, this doesn't mean this is set in stone for the rest of the year, but if we were to start a game today, we would start out with Roman Penn at the point, DJ Wilkins at the 2, Anthony Murphy at the 3, Garrett Sturtz at the 4, and then Liam Robbins at the 5.
When you have immediate success like you did, do you see the benefits when you go out and sell the program like on the recruiting trail?
Yeah, it gives you some credibility on the recruiting trail, no doubt. To be able to sell, you're coming off a conference championship and 24 wins, and so when you're trying to sell your vision for the future, and it's you got something to go back on for some facts, it's certainly helpful. And the responses that we've gotten in recruiting have been very positive. We have a lot to sell too. In terms of our university here, our city here, the program, the guys we have in the program. I think we have a lot of really good things, a lot of positive momentum right now, and on the recruiting trail, it's really showing for us. And that's the whole key to winning is you gotta have guys that really buy into wanting to be here, believe in what we're doing, and then kind of fit what we want this university to be about and what we want our program to be about. And I love the guys that we have in our program. I love what they stand for and the way they go about it every day, whether it's in this practice gym, out in their classrooms, or out in the community. I'm really proud of that group of guys that we have, and we're going to continue to recruit that way because I just believe in it, and that when you have guys that really believe in your institution, your program, and everything you're about, that there's a lot more buy-in to it, and when you have buy-in, then they have a chance to succeed at the highest level from both of an individual standpoint and as a team.
If Roman starts at the point, where does that leave Noah Thomas?
Right now, Noah would come off the bench. We're actually moving him a little bit to the 1 and the 2, so play a little bit of backup point, a little bit of backup at the 2. And again, this is today. You know, it's a long season. It's basically mid-October right now, and between now and March, like I've told the team, the nice part about last year you don't have maybe quite the depth that you wanted. This year, and I told the team this. The challenge in our locker room is when you increase your depth is how do you handle it? And, is the team and winning the most important thing to you, or is it about you? And if everybody handles it right, we have a chance to be really good. And the teams that don't, they tend to struggle because you have dissension in the locker room and stuff. But this group, we've kind of pull everybody in, tell them kind of where they stand, and we're honest with them about it. And the guys are, their responses have been awesome, and they get it, they understand it, because we do tell them, we keep them kind of up to date on where it's at, and they also understand that it can change, and they just got to continue to work. And much like Nick Norton getting hurt last year gave Noah his opportunity, and he did a great job with it, and helped lead us to a conference championship. And he's going to play a big role for us again this year. It may be different. It may end up being the same. We'll just have to let that kind of play out as the non-conference games go along.
As you deal with injuries the way you are right now, how does that give some of those young guys who are healthy some meaningful reps in practice that allow you to build some confidence in them?
Yeah, the good part, when you do have guys get hurt, it does give other guys opportunities. I know for one thing, a lot of those guys are in really good shape right now because there's no subs for them. So that's one added benefit. But them just getting the reps is a huge deal. And anytime you get an opportunity, you got to be prepared to take advantage of it. And I thought our guys that aren't hurt right now, they're able to participate in practice every day, are doing a great job of trying to maximize every rep and getting the most out of it. And regardless of what it is a week or two from now, they're better because of it. And that's how you develop your depth. And much like at the end of last year, you never know when that opportunity is going to come. A lot of our guys' opportunities didn't come till late February, early March, and that's a long time to stay with it. But I think it's also a credit to them and their commitment to the team and what we were trying to do.
The dean of students was looking for, I guess, the process going here with Trammell. Are there any specific steps that the dean wants Trammell to go through before he can get back, or is there any specifics on kind of what that process is like?
Yeah, there's no real specifics on it. It's basically them just going through their process on their side, and there's really no time, I guess, that is kind of set in stone on that one.
Any update in terms of everything that's happening?
Yeah, most of that process has all been completed a few weeks ago, and now it's really just with the university and completing that process.
No Hy-Vee Classic this year. How do you feel about that being tied to this state as long as you have been, and just not having Iowa or Iowa State on the lineup this year for your schedule? And have you tried to work with Brian to get Iowa State or Iowa home and home or anything like that?
Yeah, it's disappointing not to have that game for us. I know it was a great game for everyone in the state to be a part of on that day and get to see all four teams compete under one roof. And that's something I would love to see return, and we'll continue to work towards trying to bring that back and maybe get all four parties to come to an agreement there. Even the home and homes in any way, shape, or form. There's certainly conversations that are taking place that maybe sometime down the road can result in us getting back to that. And I just think it's great for the state, great for basketball, and certainly great opportunity for us as well.